Lesson 6 of Chapter 9 is on graphing linear equations, and we learned in the last section that slope-intercept form of an equation is in the form that y equals mx plus b, where whatever the value for m is the slope, and whatever the value for b is the y-intercept. M could be a positive or negative number, it could be a fraction, but it represents the rise over the run. And if you know how far to go up or down, and how far to go left or right, and you know the y-intercept, you can put you can go ahead and graph that function. So we're going to take a look at how you can do both positive slope and negative slope, and then a review of an xy chart that can be used to graph a linear equation. So how do we graph when the slope is positive? So let's pick a pretty simple example of a positive slope. That would be something like y equals, I'm going to make a fraction actually, 3/4 x minus 4. And right away, we see we want to get the value for the y-intercept, so we're going to make this plus -4, which tells us that the y-intercept will be at -4, so right here. And it's a positive slope, and the top number tells us how far to go up, so we're going to go up 3, so go up 1, 2, 3. And then the bottom number, the denominator, says how far to go over. So we go over 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's our other point. So if we have a positive slope, we can go up and then over to the right. In fact, we can always go up, whether the slope is positive or negative, but then we can choose to go left or right along the x-axis based on whether it's a positive or negative slope. So if it's a positive slope, go up and then go over to the right. That's important, over to the right. And then connect the points. So it looks something like that. Now what to do if the slope is negative? Let's take the same example actually. Y equals, when we get -3/4 x minus 4. So I had minus 4. So we're going to make that plus -4. And let's go ahead and put it on the graph. So we're going to be again at -4, y-intercept -4. And we're going to go ahead and go up 3. Up 1, 2, 3. But now instead of going to the right 4 units, we'll go to the left 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put this right here. And connect the points. So when the slope is negative, you can go up and over to the left. Pretty simple. And just keep in mind too that a negative slope goes downhill. And we learned that a couple of lessons ago. So when we had the positive slope in the previous example, so it looked like this. Here's a sketch of it. Same kind of slope, but just going sort of in the opposite direction because one was positive and one was negative. And now let's review how to use an XY chart to graph an equation. Let's make a y equals 7x plus 2. So we make the XY chart, and it's always fun to put 0 in because it's an easy calculation. If x is 0, then this would have a value of 0, so y would be 2. If x is 1, 7 times 1 is 7, plus 2 is 9. If x is negative 1, we would have -7 plus 2, which is -5. So there's our points. Let's go ahead and put them on the graph. Maybe about the best I can do. So 0, 2, over 0, up 2. Maybe about here. Over 1, up 9. In this area. Over 1 to the left and down 5 would be about here. That looks pretty good because it appears to be a straight line. You always want to do 3 points, not just 2, because when you put in 3 points, you can, if they don't line up, you know you made a mistake somewhere. But if they do line up, you probably have it. Then you take a straight edge and connect them, and this would be our graph of y equals 7x plus 2. So those are the ways, that's sort of the technique that you use to graph linear equations.